Hello and welcome back to Friday Minis. Now, chances are you don't have a scanner. The way I see it is most people don't have scanners, and for a good reason, right? We don't scan things all that often. But sometimes we need to. Sometimes we just have a piece of paper that we want to turn it into a digital form, and what is overwhelmingly common these days is to simply take a picture with your phone. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes you may want to sort of make things look a little bit nicer, right? It's of course possible to send someone a document that looks like this, but sometimes you want to make things look a little bit more professional. As it turns out, that is actually not too difficult to do. And in today's episode of Friday Minis, we're going to look at it from start to finish. Now, disclaimer, you can find apps that will do this for you. You don't have to do it yourself at all. But of course, we're here to learn, we're here to try and better understand what's going on, so we're gonna do it with our bare hands. Let's give this a try. Firstly, while you're taking the photo, there are a few things you can do to make the process easier. Firstly, try and angle your phone as perpendicular to the paper as you possibly can. The more tilted your phone is, the more distortion there's going to be. And while we can correct for this later on, the less correction we do, the better things look. So yeah, we try and get it right as much as possible. Try and take the photo in a place with as even lighting as possible. Again, this will make it easier for us to correct for the image later on. The less shadows you have, the easier it is to get the background to look nice and white. So now we have our picture, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use GIMP to clean it up. GIMP is a free open source image editing software, but if you have your own preferred one like Photoshop, go ahead and use it. Here's what we're going to do. First and foremost, we're going to do a rough crop. Essentially, if we have any additional things in the picture, right, we can crop it right out. Try and crop it fairly closely to the edges of the paper itself, right, in your picture, but don't crop any part of the paper out. Of course, it's very important that you leave the entire paper in. Next, we're going to go to a corner pin or a perspective transformation tool. This tool essentially allows you to pull at the edges of the picture to correct for distortion. In GIMP, it's extremely convenient because I can actually just, pull the corner of the image such that the edge of the paper lines up with the edge of the image. I'm going to repeat that for all four corners, and when I click OK, watch what happens. I've essentially, cancelled out the distortion that has come from, my weird angling. Next up, what we want to do is we essentially want to clean up the contrast so that the background looks as white as possible and the text looks as black as possible so we can get, good readability. To do this, we want to go to the Levels tool. What you're seeing here is a histogram representing, all the shades within the image. What you want to do is you want to move these two arrows inwards so that they basically surround, the histogram itself. What we're doing is we're pushing the brightest parts of the image to pure white and the darkest parts of the image to pure black. This alone should give you a fairly good effect. From this point on, it's up to your eyeballing to make things look better. You can drag the gamma slider in the middle, and what this will do is it will sort of adjust the contrast of the image overall. You can also bring those two arrows further in. Basically for this part, you're gonna have to experiment a little bit, right? Dragging the white slider inward some more will turn some of the lighter shades to white. Dragging in the black slider will turn some of the darker shades to black. So you can use these two to basically balance up, right? And coerce certain shades towards white or black as you need to. This, ladies and gentlemen, will basically clean up your document. Right at the end of the day, you'll have something that looks nice. Of course, this isn't comparable to, the capture out of an actual scanner, but this is definitely a huge step up from a basic phone camera photo. Past this point, the rest is really kind of up to you, right? You could basically, be satisfied with this, or if you want to take things further, you could do a few more things. For example, if you have a black and white printout, you could desaturate the picture. This basically takes away any stray colors, which may have been magnified by, your whole levels adjustments. On top of this, you may also want to sharpen the image somewhat. Under filters, you'll be able to find various sharpening tools, right? You can use, just the normal sharpen feature, or you can use the unsharp mask. Be careful not to over sharpen it because it could make things a little bit hard to look at. But yeah, Basically, these are two things you can do to further clean up your image. And there you go. That is essentially how you scan a picture using your phone. By being able to clean things up a little bit in post-processing, you can greatly increase the quality of the picture you've taken. That's all there is for this episode of Friday Minis. I hope you found this useful. But until next time, you're watching 0612 TV with NERDfirst.net. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my work and are feeling generous, you can shoot me a one-time donation on PayPal or sign up for a recurring one on Patreon. Of course, you can simply like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. For more videos, links to my channel and a related playlist are on screen. Thank you for your support.